Enlightenment doesn't exist. If you're watching this video, you may be somebody who's on a spiritual journey or a spiritual quest. I can tell you, with over 40,000 minutes of meditation and years of my life spent studying Eastern philosophy, that the idea of enlightenment that you chase doesn't exist. So whether you're sitting around with crystals, you have a Buddha statue that you bow to, whether you call yourself a spiritual person, you wear malas, while all of these things may be tools to aid you in this quest, that does not mean that they will lead you there. They are simply, for lack of a better term, facades. They are symbols that you have applied meaning to create this sense of gratification for yourself. Perhaps there's comfort there as well. And to be clear, I'm not saying that you can't use those things, but I am saying that the ultimate truth you seek is not in those things. It is in yourself. The Buddha said, "Ehipastiko," which means come and see. Do not trust anything I say in this video. Come and see for yourself and decide if what you hear is true through your own experiential understanding. Enlightenment as a concept based on definition doesn't exist. What I mean by that is enlightenment, or nibbana in the Pali language, means to extinguish or to go cold, to go out like a flame. Nibbana is not a place that exists. Enlightenment is not a state of being that exists. Enlightenment is deathless and bornless. It is something that cannot be rebirthed. We do not be rebirthed into enlightenment. So by definition, it is something that does not exist and something that does not exist. And the thing that you're seeking in this journey, as cliche as it sounds, man, is right within you. Because as you spend more time in this search, you find that what you're really doing is you're not going out and finding something. There it is. I got the diamond. I'm now enlightened. You are instead dissolving all that you consider conditioned. You are dissolving all of the ideas. All of them. Ideas of yourself, ideas of others, ideas of enlightenment in itself. The best analogy to explain to you what I'm telling you is we are unearthing the bones of a dinosaur in an archaeological dig. That process is more similar to achieving enlightenment than finding the diamond and holding it in your hand. I think even a better analogy might be a sandcastle that, as it rains, starts to dissolve piece by piece. And at the bottom is nothing, for a lack of a better term. It's not nothing, but it's not something. You see where I'm getting at with this? When you start to look at the definition of enlightenment in Nibbana, it becomes a bit more clear. And everything I'm saying, don't trust me, man. Please. If you do one thing at the end of this video, it's close your eyes and meditate for 5 minutes on what I'm talking about. In my journey, I'm still discovering what Nibbana actually is. What my true self actually is. I saw another video on here where the commentator told you to hold out your hand, feel your hand. Now feel what is feeling your hand. We are the ultimate observer that cannot be named, that is deathless, that is bornless, that exists not, but doesn't not exist. It goes beyond words, as you can tell. That's why you meditate. So stop. Stop with the search. Stop with the movement, the chasing. Because in itself, that is an attachment, my friend. That is you chasing. It's all here. And the Buddhist path, in a way, is not a path at all. It's simply a fabrication of a path. In a way, it's an illusion. And I say that as a person who practices Buddhism very heavily, that when you dive deeper, this identification with spirituality is just another egoic piece of the whole puzzle, my friend. So please meditate, sit in silence, and do not search. There's nothing to search for. There is nothing that you don't already have that would make you be enlightened. And when you come to that understanding, like the analogy of holding a diamond, it will turn to sand unless you practice. That diamond that you hold when you finally get it will turn to sand unless you practice. What I mean by that is upholding it, being mindful day to day. Even me, right now, I haven't meditated in some time, a few days, without a solid session. And here I am with clarity from just 10 minutes. But I have to hold this mindfulness throughout everything I do to keep it there, to keep from building new kamma or karma, the sankharas, the mental formations. Maybe you understand what I'm talking about. It depends on your knowledge, but it doesn't matter. These are just the conceptual ideas for somebody who's like me or you to understand it conceptually. But that doesn't put you any further, my friend. One thing puts you further: walking that path, walking that illusory, whatever, the illusion, walking it to then come back to realize that you walked nowhere, because there is nowhere to walk, my friend. That is enlightenment.